What's good, y'all? So this video is going to be very vulnerable, okay? Because I'm going to be pretty much reflecting on camera about my most recent past relationship, whatever that means. For those of you that are new to my channel, for new to me, it's like I've only been in 2 relationships because at a very young age it was burnt into my brain to value quality over quantity. So even like as growing up, even like high school, college, post college, to this very day, I don't really care about casual hookups. I don't care about that. To me, I find it strange to be able to go find a girl at the bar, a girl at the club, a girl walking on the sidewalk, chit chat for a few hours, and like a few hours later, at the end of the night, I'm in her. That's weird to me. It's like, especially how much I've learned about sex and the power and the spiritual implications of sex, sexual energy exchange, and the energy that you've taken on from that random stranger. It's like you don't know who she is. She don't know who you are, so why are y'all messing with one another? You will quickly realize in one conversation that, y'all really shouldn't be messing around with one another. But people can do what they want to do. When I'm single, it's like I'm using it to level up. I'm using it to reflect. I'm using it to learn to make sure I don't keep perpetuating the same behaviors and keep making the same mistakes over and over again. And some people use their singleness to just go screw everything moving. Live your life, live your truth. You understand? But a lot of people don't understand how much baggage that they're taking from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship. It's like you get hurt in one relationship. That's a new baggage. That's a new scar. And I'm going to tell you a few stories. That's your new scar. That's your new baggage. You take that to the next relationship, hoping that that person can fix you and help you. They can't do it. They can't meet that expectation. So that's another failed relationship. You add more baggage to that. You take it to the next relationship. You keep perpetuating that cycle over and over and over. And you keep on wondering why you can never hold down a relationship. Because you've never dealt with your very, very first relationship from like middle school. You've kept that same heartbreaking trauma when you saw Sean kissing Emily Sue at PE or whatever, and you never let go of that. You understand? Your traumas can start so far in the past. If you never sit down with yourself and reflect and see how you feel about certain things, you're going to keep on taking that energy with you. So let's just go ahead and get into some stories, and just reflecting. For the sake of storytelling purposes, let's go ahead and establish some aliases. For relationship number 1 that we're going to talk about very briefly, we're going to go ahead and name her, I'm so bad at nicknames. We're going to go ahead and name her Sarah. Okay, Sarah. And then relationship number 2, we're going to go ahead and call her Amy. And if she ever sees this video, she could probably put together why I call her Amy. But let's go ahead and get started. So when I met Amy, right? Well, okay, that's wrong because I met her when I was like 5 or 6 years old. You know what I'm saying? We were childhood friends. But when we reconnected as adults, I came to her a broken man. And at that time, I didn't even know how broken I was. I knew I had problems. I knew I had issues because I was still in Oliver mode. Like I didn't know how to soften up. I didn't know how to be vulnerable. I didn't know how to let somebody in because I spent the last 5-6 years keeping everybody at bay and making everybody an enemy. When someone came to me with that opposite energy, I didn't know how to handle it. You know what I'm saying? From the jump. Don't get me wrong, I was very good at covering it up, but covering it up or being authentic, which one is which? That's why I am the way I am now. Once again, reflection and learning from these past experiences. But I was such a broken individual because of the traumas I brought on from my past relationship with Sarah. I dated Sarah for what, like four and a half years, something like that. And, I never had the middle school, high school, even college breakup. It's like I didn't have that breakup that I could just like be surrounded by friends and be like, yo, you good? Let's go out. Let's go do things. I had my first ever breakup when I had the accessibility to alcohol and I was on my own living by myself. Well, no, I was still living with my parents at the time, but then I moved out and blah, blah, blah. And that's when the true depression began, because I was pretty much a weekend alcoholic. It's like I get cheated on and I wasn't even mad at her. I instantly internalized it. I instantly took it personally. And I began this negative belief, this negative energy of I am not good enough. We all know the power of I am. And I used to just say, I'm not good enough, man. I must not be good enough. My best effort is not good enough. You know, when you're sitting there, you go, first of all, you learn so much about each other. You spend so much time with one another. But then, like, you know, you're the one on the phone with her when she's crying. You're on the phone with her when there's drama going on in her life. But then you've traveled together. You took her on a trip, all this type of stuff. And she cheats on you. That crushes someone that's never been even broken up with. You know what I'm saying? That's my first ever breakup. Dang. You know what I'm saying? I did not take it well. I did not. You know, so I carried on this energy to my relationship from Sarah to Amy. You know, and when I say broken, I was broken at all three levels that are my present day checklist for any woman that's trying to enter my life to be my significant other, to be my other half. You know, it's, do I appreciate this woman? Does this woman appreciate me at the three basic levels? The mind, the body, and the spirit. Hence the MBS, the Professor MBS in my name. You know, that's exactly where it came from. You know, it's like, let's go ahead and break it down. When I came to her, you know, at the body level, the physical, I came to her with, my third day in Colorado, I had torn my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus. I was already out of sync because my body was literally hurt. My body was literally like destroyed. And that knee was destroyed for like a solid 3 months, you know, before I went and even got it looked at. And I noticed how insecurities take any little opportunity to start to creep up on you. And some of the simplest things, insecurity will pop up in regards to the physical. Obviously, I already had the insecurities with sex. This is one of those things. I was like, oh, what if I nut too fast? Or what if she's not satisfied? It doesn't matter how good I did. I still never was able to give myself that acclaim because I am not deserving. I'm not good enough. That was something that was one of the records that was playing in the back of my head before I knew how to, you know, listen to these records and stop them. You know, but then, like, even at like a very simple note, it was kind of like one of those situations where, like, she's a dancer and she studied sports science in school. So that's another thing that I was thinking about all the time. What if she looks at me as this broken individual? Oh my God, I literally work with athletes and stuff all day. Like, what am I going to do with your little broken ass? These are the things that I was speaking for her in my own mind. I was telling myself all these negative things that she was not thinking in the remote slightest. You understand? But then it was like, you know, she's a fast walker. Don't get me wrong, she's already physically fit and a dancer. But then also it's college. And I'd already been out of college at this time. But it's like she walked very fast. And at that time, I didn't have I had very little functionality in my leg. Like, it still looked like I was kind of walking normal. But like, this leg felt like I was moving in slow motion because I couldn't do everything I needed to with it. Obviously, with the ACL, MCL, meniscus torn, what can you do with that knee, right? So I took that very personally. I was like, man, she's going to notice how slow I am. And, you know, I'm sure all these athletes she's around all day, man, they must look a lot more. These are the things that were going on from the beginning in my head. You understand? Let's go ahead and move up to the mental. And we've already touched on it before. You know, I was already telling myself I'm not deserving of this. You know, I can't even lie. I'm halfway getting teary-eyed talking about this one. But if you, I don't know if y'all have ever experienced it, but as a man or if a woman, like if you've ever been in this situation, when you as a man, you see this woman looking at you with pure love, like infatuation, like, yo, this is my king right here. That type of energy. Like, she was glowing based off of how happy she was being around me. And when you could just be standing in your own apartment, you moved across the country, and you standing in your own apartment with this beautiful ass woman, mind, body, and spirit, right here in front of you. You can't even appreciate that. Like, I can't even lie. I'm halfway getting teary-eyed talking about it. Like, it hurts in such a deep level that I can't even really find the words for. Like, she's looking at you like you're a god. The thing that I so happily and openly proclaim now. But I wasn't that guy. And I remember, damn. I'm trying to, like, not to get choked up. But when she was looking at me, you know, like, I was just sitting there. I was like, I'm not the guy you think I am. I'm not. And she's looking at me in my truth. She already sees my greatest potential. but I couldn't see it in myself. It's like I couldn't love her fully because I didn't love myself. That's why I tell people over and over that you have to love yourself before getting into a new relationship, or at least be in like a stable spot. You know what I'm saying? There's always growth that's going to have to happen, and hopefully the new person can help you grow. But don't rely on them, because that's a crazy burden to put on that person to help fix my traumas with somebody that you don't even know. You see what I'm saying? It's like that's a very tall order to fill. That's why you have to love yourself from within and have your cup runneth over with that love. So now you have extra love to share with somebody else. Once again, it's something I've learned. Spirituality. What spirituality? I didn't have any spirituality when I first met her. Don't get me wrong, I was kind of, I did a couple of successful manifestations. I even manifested the relationship, but the other manifestation from that affirmation I kept saying, I'm not deserving, I am not deserving, I'm not good enough, was also playing. So even though all these great things were happening in my life, and I was blessed with this beautiful queen in my life, I couldn't appreciate it because that little thing in the back of my head said, you're not good enough for her. Told you. You saw what happened last time, right? That's going to happen again. You better end this before. And I was just like, yo, shut up. Shut up. You're not that good voice that always leads me to the good things. You're that annoying one that keeps showing up, keeps saying bad things. Shut up. That's like the type of mental conversation I'd be having with myself sometimes, with her being right there next to me. It's like, yo, shut up. You know what I'm saying? But weirdly enough, though, my spiritual awakening is also what kind of pushed me over the edge, to end my relationship way too prematurely. It's like that should have been the relationship that went the long haul. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. If we never get back together, it's like she was definitely the definition, the epitome of the one that got away. 100%. 100%. It's like, the thing now, though, it's like, I know it sounds like a whole bunch of like a little sob story and all this type of stuff, but it's like, there was a moment, right? Let's go ahead and take this angle. There was a moment, like, after, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me fall back real quick. When our relationship was going on, it was perfect. I'm not even gonna lie, it was perfect. Like, I legitimately, there was like two sides of me. Like, this is before like Prince and Oliver were one and worked together. It was like there was like a Prince mode, and then there was like Oliver, but then there's just like this middle area. I was stuck. I was lost in the sauce in there. There were moments where I knew I was extremely happy with this with this woman, but I couldn't allow myself to enjoy her presence because of all the stuff that was going on in my head. I was just always just stuck, and I was always just not in the right place. We're doing all these great things. I'm in these new places, new environment, and like me being back in a college town was another trigger for me. Cause like my after college, y'all know my story about college, but I like missed like two of my cousins, like my god brother and one of my cousins' graduations. And I completely skipped my other cousin's graduation because I knew I was going to have another panic attack. Every time I stepped foot back on the college campus, I had a college attack. I had a panic attack, an anxiety attack every single time without fail. So being back on the college, like, I was kind of good because I was with my woman, but also like I still couldn't ignore the fact that I was on the campus. So I couldn't enjoy my time with her fully because my mind was stuck on my past traumas that I had yet to heal from, right? So, fast forward, we're having a great life. She's visited me, I visited her, blah, 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 bing, bada, boom, everything's going well. But then, like, it got to this point one day, like, it was right before spring break, and damn, I am getting emotional. But it was right before spring break, and she was about to come back out here to Colorado to visit me. And it was so weird because this one day, snowballed into the greatest mistake I've ever made in my life. I wanted to tell her, I was like, hey, yo, maybe you should hold off on like getting your ticket. Like, there's some things that I've been going, like, this is how I originally had it planned, and it did not come out like this at all. I had just been thinking, I was like, yo, I'm going to talk to her about some of the things I'm scared about, some of the things I'm worried about. And I told her to, like, I was ready to tell her, like, to hold off on getting your ticket because I don't know how you're going to look at me after this, because I was going to explain to her and just pretty much dump on her all of my vulnerabilities and my insecurities. But this is how the beginning of this video began. I got scared. So as the time and time like started to progress, like I had to like talk to her after her classes or whatever at the end of the day. So I just been dwelling on how I was going to tell her about how like insecure I was. I was going to tell her about these things that I'm working on in my life and these things that I think I'm not good enough at, and I wanted to go over some stuff. Don't get me wrong, we have been doing this in the past, you know, but like it's like I was ready to just like be 110% honest. You know what I'm saying? But as I typically do now, it's a habit that I got from way back when. But I kind of like wanted to rehearse everything I was saying. But then the more and more I was telling myself to her in my own mind all of my problems, I started to realize, damn, I have a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, wait a minute. Yo, wait. I have way too many problems. That's why I've been feeling so weird. You know, and that snowballed into me pretty much bitching out and not telling her my problems and just pretty much just ending the relationship out of nowhere. Because I would have rather ended the relationship than literally just be honest about my shortcomings, about my failures, about the things that I'm working on, the secrets, and not like the secrets like anything bad, but like my like personal secrets that I had at the time. I'd rather end the relationship than tell her that, right? And I just feel it right here in my chest to keep it together. God damn. But you know, it's like that was the day, man, that I truly like I have never forgotten that day because I didn't know, but something really big happened. And yes, the relationship ending with that was a very big deal, but I literally like went against like my soul contract, my spirit contract, because I am a lover. I am a lover. I'm a protector. You know, I'm a healer. These are the things that I do. That's in every fiber of my being. And I hurt. I abandoned and I stripped away that love from the only person I actually gave a shit about in my life at that point in time. That fucked me up. Deep. That fucked me up deep. You know, that really did. And the following month after that, I can't even tell you an emotion that I felt in that month. That month flew by in what felt like the blink of an eye because I was just sitting there and I was just numb. I didn't feel happy that I was free and I could go do whatever. I didn't feel sad because I was single again. I was just numb. It was just nothing. And that's the weirdest feeling I've ever felt. I still can't explain that. But I just felt just straight numb. And to distract myself from this, I got really big into the manifestation stuff. That's why I'm so big into that type of stuff, because I was just like, okay, cool. But I also understand people's frustrations with learning the manifestation skill. Because as many times I tried to manifest this girl back, and then like woman, this is just a habit to say girl, but you know, I manifest this woman back, and I need to show her the respect that she deserves. You know, it's like when I tried to manifest her back, learning the stuff that Neville was teaching me, and it wasn't working. It's like it almost like refired me back up. Like I'm out of this numb feeling, but then that's when I started to feel like the anger, the anxiety, the impatience with her. You know, I was like, yo, I get it, because like she said some kind of, I can't lie. If you watching this, you said something a little bit dumb to me even to this day. But like she's like, yeah, you typically have a week to like get back with me or blah blah blah. How was I supposed to know that? I'm going through my own things too, but I wasn't at the level of maturity to articulate myself in that way. So I kind of just let it rock, and I was just like, man, here we go again, not deserving, not getting the things that I'm expecting in this world. Here we go again. And when I made that realization, I realized the power of the mind, and I learned all this type of stuff. I was like, we both sabotaged our relationship unknowingly. We both messed up our relationship. Why do I say that? Because my fear, once again, fear is the lowest vibration, but it's a very powerful vibration in the negative aspect of things. My biggest fear, which came to fruition, was that I was like the relationship would be screwed up based off of my faults, based off of my insecurities, and people, the way that I thought in my limited thinking at the time, that it was be like, oh, she would find out that I couldn't run, or I couldn't do this and that, or I couldn't do this and that, or I wasn't rich, or blah blah blah, and she would find that out and leave me. But didn't the same exact result happen? The relationship ended due to my insecurities. I was too scared to be vulnerable with my partner. She was my partner, and to this day, I love her to death. You know what I'm saying? I still to this day love her. And I will openly say that I don't care, because it's like, it's my truth. My mom told me something very interesting. When I was like in the grace period between, what did I call her? Sarah. When I was in the grace period between Sarah and Amy, and I was going through it from the stuff that I dealt with that, me and my mom have this journal, or I still have it, but we have this journal because I had a very hard time articulating myself with my voice, with my word. It's shocking, right? But I had a very hard time in that era of my life speaking up. So what I would do was I would write. And the only person I really trusted with this type of vulnerability was mom. Shout out to mom for being there. Literally I didn't talk to grandma about this. I didn't talk to my dad about this. I talked to my mom. I just wrote things out. And there was a lot of back and forth in there. But one of the things that she told me that I always remembered was that sometimes, and she said sometimes it takes you falling in love with somebody else to get over like the failed relationship, the past relationship. And Amy was that for me. You know what I'm saying? She was that for me. That's why I'm so eternally grateful for her, because she got me out of that first, she got me out of my lowest point. And how do I return the favor? I crush her heart. That's something it took me a long time. It took me like up until like a few months ago, if I gotta be completely honest with you. It took me up until a few months ago to truly forgive myself for that. They say forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just moving off of blind impulse. I had no direction. I had no leadership skills. I had nothing I had no way to deal with my emotions properly. I didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even going to hold you. She was one of the greatest things to ever happen in my life. Some men are probably watching this video. Most people, they probably didn't make it this far. But she was very important to me, and she still is to this day. The game, and it's a very childish game, but F, marry, kill, like fuck, marry, kill. So we're gonna do like friend, marry, kill. But there's literally 3 pivotal women that I had in my life. And if I had to match them all up, it's like I'm not gonna go ahead and say who was who, but definitely Mary would be her. Simple, easy. Because what I've reflected on is, of course, people could have changed in the meantime. We haven't been as social. We're still very, cordial with one another. But, the conversations are very far and few in between sometimes. But, it's like I look at her now, and one of the biggest things that I can now appreciate about her, things that I didn't have the time to do. I didn't have time to appreciate her because I was too wrapped up in my own selfish little self-pity, my own little mental battle, was her childlike nature. And I'm not saying childish. Childish is like the immature, petty stuff. Don't get me wrong, we both had these moments. But the childlike nature is one of the things that I talk about in my manifestation, my spiritual side of the things that I talk about. Where I say the purpose of life is to be as childlike as possible, because you could tell a child something and they're just going to take it. You know what I'm saying? We had a recent conversation a few days ago, actually, her and I. And I told her something about the herb Gotu Kola. I think I made a video about it. It's like Gotu Kola helps with brain health, and I told her about it, that I was like, yo, elephants eat this, and that's why that's probably a reason why elephants are so smart, because they eat this herb that helps with brain power. That's something that they ate. That's how we knew it helped with the brain power. And she went and looked it up. You know how simple of a thing that is for me nowadays? All these people that believe all this BS on the news, and I tell her something, and she just goes and checks it out, and she's like, wow, this is interesting. that eagerness to learn, that sponge-like brain is something that I find so attractive in any woman. Someone that's like they trust you, but they still have to verify it for themselves. I love that about somebody. And like the fact that like she's like a Disney fan. She loved Disney. What's the big thing about Disney? That imagination. What's the biggest thing that I talk about in regards to manifestation? You use your imagination to create the world that you want to live. So she literally embodies this thing. And like the more I look at her and the more I see it, I was like, yo, this is a woman in her divine feminine. I wasn't in my divine masculine, therefore I couldn't do this, right? I couldn't be with her. It's like I don't even think she knows it yet, but she's like the epitome of the divine feminine. You know what I'm saying? And it's like I look at that now, I'm like, damn, that's why I consider it a mistake. It's like I got rid of that. I separated myself from that. That's wild. Because we're going to end this on an uplifting note. And there's a lot more that goes into this. I'm trying to like give you all the key moments, but like there was a moment where like I finally got my stuff together. I have never stopped loving her. Never. I've never stopped loving her. But in order for me to grow and move forward, I had to put my feelings for her on pause for a little bit. And don't get me wrong, it was still in the me redefining myself and redeveloping my masculine frame. But one of the things that I told her in the very beginning, and I told her this in the middle when we had broken up, but we still kind of talked every now and again. And then we took a little bit of a pause, but then like even now to this day, like up until recently, like within the past few months, it's like I still tell her, it's like, you're still my motivation. It's just like at first she was my pure motivation. Once again, that fixation, where's all of your focus going to this one thing? And I'm going to do this so she loves me again and she appreciates who I've become, and that's why I'm doing this. No, you should always grow for yourself. Yes, it will have the benefit of the people around you. They will be able to acknowledge your new growth and your new version of yourself, but you should always grow for yourself. But I hadn't learned this yet, so I wanted to grow and represent this new version of myself that I had been working on for like the last year, or like the present at the time, like the past year, and I want to show you who I've become. That's when I began to get frustrated with her, and this is what actually helped me begin to move forward. I was like, yo, I'm becoming the dude that you were looking at. And this is when you ignore me, but I understand the damage was done, emotions were still involved, emotions were still heavy. But I was like, yo, I'm literally the dude that you're looking at now. And now you ignore me? Like, I was starting to get frustrated. I was starting to get angry because I'm becoming this awesome person. I'm learning all this crazy stuff about the spiritual world, manifestation. I'm starting more and more to find out who I am. But I'm very happy she didn't take me back in that moment. I'm extremely happy because I would have thought I was good enough then. And I would have stopped. Oh, I did a good job. I'm done. But the fact when you work on yourself and you work and you work and you work and you work and you work, and it still doesn't, give you the results that you were looking for, you got your two options: give up or persevere and keep on going. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stop giving all this energy to something that's tearing me down, something that's pissing me off, something that's irritating me, and I'm gonna just turn all that energy into myself. I would love to restart things with you. I would love to explain these things to you. I would love to begin to teach you and to lead you down this spiritual road, this path to godliness that I'm residing in. I'm getting more and more comfortable with this frequency. And the way I look at it is like, if we ever were to get back together, I've went ahead. Because speaking of which, I use those words in particular. There's a lot of things that are coming back. There was a point when I got to the point when I started to move forward and I brought all the energy back to myself. I gave her, I was like, look, all right, it's been way too long. It's been a very, very long time, and I still don't really know what we are. Like, are we something or not? We still talk, we still do this, but it's confusing. So what are we? What should we be doing right now? And I remember that day. It was like a Friday or a Monday. I remember I was just about to drive off to work when she called me. I stopped everything because my heart was beating hard. I was like, all right, what's this about to be? Here we go. But I was like, yo, give me a yes or a no. Are we together or not? And she didn't give me a yes or a no. She just said, well, just go ahead. I'm going to focus on school, blah, blah, blah. Some people could read between the lines with that, but you know, it is what it is. And I was like, man, I kind of expected that answer, but I needed that confirmation. But weirdly enough, I did some more reflecting on it. I was like, you still never said yes or no. You know, before that question, like I asked like earlier on, I was like, yo, what are we? We still talk? We still fall asleep together on Skype? Like, what are we doing? And then like she says, like, you know, I was like, yo, are we together? And then she was like, I'm not gonna say yes, I'm not gonna say no. She kept giving me like these middle ground answers and I never got a definite answer from her. Of course I kind of just had to fill in the blanks. It would say it was a no, but you know, the reasoning why I always say that the door wasn't just slammed shut after it is because of that. I never got that answer. If the universe wanted me to get that no, that would have came out of her mouth. You know, but it never did. So like I was like, I think there's something there. Last little story, and I think I may have told y'all about this, but up recently, the last time I went home, when did I go home last? Was it for my birthday? Yeah, last time I went home was for my birthday. And it was like some fate stuff where like I was like, and like I'm at where I'm at now. I had my YouTube channel up. Did I have my YouTube channel? Yes, I did. Yeah, it was this year. Duh. Time doesn't really exist to me anymore. But like, but yeah. So like, I ran into her. She didn't know I was in town. I didn't tell her I was coming. I wanted to spend this time with my parents. My mom took me to get like she was like, you want to go get some manicures and pedicures and stuff, my treat? My mom always wanted to do this, but now I'm at the point now where I embrace the feminine aspects of myself because everyone has their masculine and feminine. Some men take that shit way too far about being alpha and macho all the time. You gotta take care of yourself. You gotta clean. You gotta clip your nails. You gotta make sure under your nails are clean. It's like, you know, not to get X-rated, but if you know the power of these two fingers, it's like, you ladies, you don't want people messing around with you with dirty nails. That's gonna mess up your pH. It's gonna mess up the flora. It's gonna. Well, I shouldn't know more about your vaginas than some of y'all. All right, you understand? So when men be like, oh, that's gay. Oh, men embracing feminine traits. Now, when men start wearing skirts and start carrying purses that they have to tell you that no, it's not a purse, it's a satchel. Shout out to ASAP Rocky because I'm like, yo, dog, come on. It's not a purse, it's a satchel. No one asked, but everyone's already been sketched out with you for a while now. But I don't really care. That's your business. I don't care. But it's like, I forgot where I was going with that. Anyway, bringing it back. You know, when we saw each other, it's like I hadn't been thinking about her. Like I've been focused on myself, focused on growing this YouTube thing. I was focused on that. But when I saw her, like she walked in like when we had the masks on and everything. And like I can't even lie, I have a very consistent taste. I really do. Because I was sitting there in the chair next to my mom, we were doing the things, and I was just about done, if not already done. And like I saw this girl walk in, I was like, yo, who's this tall, beautiful legged woman walking in here? And then like I kept on looking and she kept on looking back, and I was like, yo. And then like I expected her to like stay distant, whatever, but she came and talked to me, and we were just chopping it up like it was regular. And we even had like a silent moment. To me, I didn't even feel like it was awkward. Like we talked for a little bit and we just sat there for a little bit. And I was just like, yo, I missed you. I didn't say it there, of course, what I'm saying? 'Cause I was kind of like messed up that she was still here. That she was here in front of me right now. Like this chance just brought us together. I don't believe in chance. I don't believe in coincidence. And I was just like, yo, this meant something. I don't know what it meant, but that's crazy. Of all people I ran into you here. It means something to me, but if it don't mean nothing to you, it is what it is. But for everyone that's listening to this whole video, shout out to you. It's like her and it's like, I know we're going to stay at the very least to stay cordial, but even if we don't end up getting back together or anything like that, it's like, I'm always going to love her. Always. I even love my first ex. What I'm saying? I love, I keep forgetting the alias. I love Sarah. What I'm saying? I love her, but it's a different type of love. You know what I'm saying? And I guess it's up to her and Amy and I, to figure out what we gonna be. It's like I still have a very strong love for her. I mean, strong. Like I will still say like that's the girl I love. But if I run into somebody else, hey, it's been long enough. You know what I'm saying? It's like I can still love somebody without being emotionally attached to them. You know what I'm saying? And that's been one of my biggest breakthroughs. I've learned a lot from just these two women. I've learned so much from them, you know. But with me learning and me seeing the connections of the universe, I don't know what's in the cards. You know, I don't know. But now I do know that any relationship I get in after this is going to be, you know, it's going to be me in my masculine frame. Hopefully you're in your divine feminine frame, and you know, I'm ready to lead this time. You know, whatever the relationship will be with her or somebody new. It's like I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to give direction. I'm ready to teach because I now know who I am. I have a mission in life. I have a purpose. I now have direction. I'm not just floating around out here just seeing what happens. Like, I'm that dude now. You know, one of the things that my dad told me, and I've said this a many a times, he's like, yo, you a prize, dog. Any girl will be lucky to have you. You got your own spot, you got your own car, you got a job, you know, you're smart, you're intelligent, you're independent. Yo, any girl will be lucky to have you. That used to piss me off, but now I'm just like, you know what, Dad? Thank you. You know, because that's always been something that's been in the back of my brain. You know, but it's like, you know what, Dad? Thank you. Because now I know my worth. And now I know what I bring to the relationship. You know, a lot of men like to joke women, like women, I can't lie. I've said this before, but this is the dumbest thing y'all say. Ladies, what do you bring to the table? I bring the table. That wasn't the question. The table is already there, sweetie. What do you bring to the table? That's just the easiest way to say that you bring nothing but you being pretty. You understand? But a lot of men can't answer that question as well. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Here's the no. What do you bring? I bring leadership. I can break the veil of this matrix for you and show you what the real world is. I can show you that it's not a crime to call yourself a goddess. You know, like the awakened beings are starting to do this more and more and more and more. You know, like if you go to Rashad Jamal, the Divine Insights YouTube page and go listen to his lectures. Yeah, what's up, God? What's up, goddess? And that's weird to some people because they vibrating so low. But you can't be around me vibrating too low. Either you're going to be vibrating too low that I just literally don't see you. You fall off of me because like I realize you're way too low for me. Or you have the opportunity to rise up to me. You know? But then it's like there's either you can rise up to me or it's my mission to rise up to my woman that's up there. I don't know. But this is the freedom that comes with not being fixated on one person, on one thing. You know, I love her to death, and I will happily start up our relationship again, happily. But at the same time, I'm also open to something new. It's been long enough for me, and I've been seeing the same signs happening all around me. Something's coming one way or another. Either it's going to be her, it's going to be something new. But either way, I know that the next one's going to be the real deal Holyfield. You know what I'm saying? But I know I think I kind of got all over the place and I got a little long-winded, but this was a therapy session for me. You know, this is the type of stuff that makes me really feel good. And I know I'm going to sleep really good tonight. You know, but to all of you out there that still think it's a good idea to suppress yourself, all of you men that think it's very good to just sit here and to bash women, not here. You know, I already had to check one of y'all that like sent a stupid ass comment saying that women are nothing but takers and agents of the matrix. Shut up. You're a child. I don't care if you're older than me. You're a child mentally. Shut up. You're a boy. You don't know about this. You know, it's like, quick little sidebar, quick little tangent before we end this video. You know, I was watching like a Kevin Gates like Instagram live recording. I don't have Instagram, so I just watched it on YouTube. And one of the rules of the internet is never go to the comment section of a video that you like. Because he's talking about hair, you know, hair health, skin care, all that type of stuff. And I see all these dumbass, weak little men that are just sitting here. Oh, man, I like the old Gates, man. Jail changed Gates, man. Oh, my God. Oh, man, men are developing more feminine traits every day. I'm like, what? First of all, why are you in the internet comment section talking about another dude that doesn't care about your existence? I'm not defending him. He's a grown man. He can defend himself. I'm more so focused on the fact that you went out of your way to type that. So taking care of growing your hair, make sure your hair isn't flaky and balding and dry. That's feminine. That's feminine traits that show that you change. You caring about your health. to make sure that you have a long, healthy life, that you can keep on functioning into your quote, quote, old age if you still believe in time and aging. That's feminine. Self-care is feminine. Some of you men need to level up. Some of you ladies need to grow up. Everyone needs to grow up. Everyone needs to level up. And we need to stop fighting one another. We need to stop holding on these bitter traits, these bitter thoughts towards one another. A lot of y'all's relationships will be perfectly healthy if y'all just sat down like adults and spoke, because you would quickly realize how many misunderstandings y'all had, how many assumptions that y'all made that were incorrect of the other person. But then when you have these real talks, you get to see who your partner is. Wow. And it's up to you to say, you know what? They were open with me. They showed me this. How can I help them? Some people, some women that act like they don't care about a man's money. And, they're like, I don't care about that. And some women don't. But even I got to admit, some of y'all look at us crazy when we broke. Y'all look at us crazy. You know what I'm saying? Y'all talk to us any type of way because we don't have a couple of dollars. You know what I'm saying? But then men want to judge women for like having like a high body count or something like that. I'm like, how many people have you slept with, sir? So why are you judging her for doing the exact same thing? Oh, she a hoe, dog. Anybody that got over 3 bodies, something I've actually heard in my life. Any girl that got over 3 bodies, she a hoe, dog. She for the streets. 3? 3? Some people have beaten that in like a day. You know what I'm saying? 3 and they're 20-something years old and they only got 3 bodies. She a hoe for that? Come on, dog. Y'all need to grow up. Y'all are so convinced of who's sleeping with who. Who cares? If y'all are single, who cares? You know what I'm saying? But anyway, I'm not going to go off on that rant. I just want the world to come together, and I want more healthy relationships in the world. Sit down and get to know your partner before you go deep with them. For me, it's like it takes a minute before like I even think about being intimate with somebody, because it's just like I've done all this studying now. I know this. I'm prepared, but let me teach you what I've learned so we can be on the same mental level. So when we finally reconnect on that level, you know what it is and you know what's going on in my mind. And then we can stop this insecurity shit that a lot of men have. Women could be like, oh, does he see this? Is he noticing this about me? Stop thinking so much and just be with one another and give pleasure to one another if it comes to intimacy. But intimacy is a lot more than just sex, young people. Intimacy is literally you sitting down face to face and just looking each other in the eye. The simple challenge that I really want to do one day is sit there for at least a minute, 60 seconds, and see how long y'all can go. Sit down in silence. Don't say nothing to one another and just stare each other in the eye. Take your glasses off and stare each other in the eye. Don't say nothing. Don't do nothing. Just look each other in the eye. I guarantee y'all, a lot of y'all are going to struggle with that. And that's going to show y'all where you're at. You're supposed to be able to be damn near spiritually high around the right one. And I'm starting to see that I had that at a certain point. And I don't want people to continue. I don't want people to make the mistake that I did. You got the perfect one right there. The one that's ready to ride for you, die for you. The one that's ready to grow for you. The one that's ready to listen to you. The one that's ready to lead you. The one that's blah, 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 blah. Sit down and take the time to get to know yourself first, then get to know your partner. And then y'all get to exchange notes, and then y'all become a unit. 1 + 1 = 1. My throat hurts. I'm tired. I'm going to go to sleep. But I hope y'all learned something from this. Peace. Till the next one.